Greetings, greetings. Hello, can you hear us?
Yes.
Oh, we can't hear you. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me stop sharing my screen.
Can somebody open the front door?
Okay, let me see here. Oh, you're here. Come on in. Hi, Pari. Okay, Pari, can you hear us? Oh, I need to turn up my volume. Hold on.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm
Okay,
just
hold on.
outside.
Okay, let me stop sharing my screen.
Door.
Yeah. Pari, are you here?
Yeah, I
you're
am.
here.
I'm ringing the bell, but nobody seems to be in the front.
Hi, Pari. Okay, Pari, can you?
Mhm.
All right, team, let's try now. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
They have to log on to not get the echo.
Can I grab a chair?
Addison, can you test for me? Can you test our volume, Addison, and tell us if you can hear?
I can hear you. Can you hear
I just can't
me?
hear you, that's my problem.
Okay, let me log out.
So just bear with me here, I'm so sorry. If you just keep talking confidentially, I don't know what. Hear you.
Friday one.
Because. Oh.
I know, I have been Steve's extravaganza. They're not
So coming through the computer, that's so frustrating. Let's see here, sorry, team. Should be on the TV. No, it's a shooter. You say it's okay, I'm turning so I can let them make sure. It looks like it's off. But yes.
Oh, yeah. Now talk. Addison, talk now.
I should have had the other ones.
Yeah, if they were here today, I don't.
Okay, Addison, if you can hear us, we might just move forward with the device sound. Okay. So I'm just gonna turn this bad boy up on this laptop and we'll try. Oh, wait. How about now?
Can you hear me?
Yay! Cheers. Okay, look at that. She figured it out. It's only been a few months since she did this. Okay, so now I'm going to share my screen. Okay, hold on. Now I've got to put this in presentation mode. And then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to share my screen, and then we're going to get started. Share screen, share that one. And now we can see our people right here. Perfect. Thank you, Miss Morgan. All right. We are ready to get started. Thank you all for joining. Oh, right here. Oh.
Right now, that for you.
Yeah, come on, right in here. No need. Yeah, come on up to the table, babe. Okay, now. Yes. No back sitting allowed, right? Okay. All right, so welcome. This is going to be the most fun Go Team of the year because I get to be the leader of it. And I am excited to call this meeting to order, where we will follow the agenda as it has been publicly noticed. Noticed. So just in case anyone wanted to see the agenda, it is a form agenda that I copied and left on my printer. See how easy this is for me? I can just go right into
Yesterday, Howard, it was the curriculum night in all the science rooms. They have a huge closet that's connected to like, they have a huge closet of all their synthesizers. It's like, I want that to go science.
right, so there's not a copy for everyone because we don't all need one, but please, if you just take one and share, pass around, that's our agenda for today. It's our organizational meeting. Our first order of business is to appoint an interim secretary. And this person will take the notes for this meeting only. I would like to nominate Pari for that job
I can do for today.
for today.
I have a technical issue that makes it hard to do,
Mhm.
but that's later on. But
Can you
okay,
can you just take the notes for today for me? There's a whole template, I can email it to you.
okay.
Is that a technical problem?
No, I don't have my computer, but I can get on the phone
Okay.
and then I'll take.
Yeah, you can just take notes and type it up afterwards. It's, once again, it's pretty cut and dry. We're just nominating people and approving the calendar dates for the year. All right, thank you, Mary, I really appreciate that. All right, so now we will have to do the roll call. Please respond present when your name is called. We have, where's my list? All right, Addison Draper,
Present.
Hari Ram,
Present.
Johari Garris Ward. Present. Kayla Dees. Here. Oh, present, sorry. You're present. Becky Hecox. Present. Alba Huff. Present. Lily Harris. Present. And then we have two, to be nominated, members joining us today, so we can, for the purpose of the minutes, call them members of the public until they are, henceforth, approved, and that will be Miss Alice Bruckner and Miss Stephanie Schumacher. Okay, great, thank you so much. Okay, so this team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present, there is a quorum present. So we can move on to this section, so the first order of business is to approve this agenda. Do I have a motion to approve this agenda? Motion. Motion to be approved, and a second by Ms. Dees, thank you. Any amendments that you see that are needed for the agenda today? No, okay, great. All in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. Motion carries. All right, we will now move to our action items. So first up, we're gonna be filling some vacant seats. Like I said, we have a couple of folks here who have stepped up and are eager to join our team. I felt like I was supposed to be going through here, sorry. Oopsies. Okay, so first, we're gonna fill the open community member seat. This person will serve on the Go team for a 2-year term. I nominate Miss Alice Bruckner to fill the open community member seat. Does anyone have any comments or discussion about this nominee? Alice, would you tell us a little bit about yourself and your connection to the community?
Sure. I live in Lake Claire and I've had 2 boys go through Maryland K through 5. They're now in 8th and 11th grade. And I served on the PTA board for 4 years.
You're so big, you're back. Excited for you to see the fun stuff you got going on. Yeah, we got some cool stuff going on. Awesome. So now we will proceed to vote on this nomination for the community member seat. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Do we need a motion? Or did you just make the motion?
I nominated to fill, yep, and now it says, oh, this is just the nomination. If you're in favor of the nomination, say aye.
Okay.
All in favor? Thank you, Addison, thank you. Okay, and then, we will now. See, you know what, you're totally right. They don't have that portion in here about, voting on to fill the swing, to actually fill this.
I think that's right. I think we can cover our bases though, if we just get a motion to approve, since it's unelected, since it's unopposed. We can just hold a vote, but there's no one else there. So we can just, like, I move that we put the nomination to a vote or the position to a vote.
That's the difference here, Addison. So this is the difference, between the community member and the open swing seat, is that the community member seat is nominated by the principal. The swing seat can technically be nominated from anybody on the board, so that's the difference. So that's probably why there's more verbiage on the swings. Because now I should move to fill the open swing seat. This person will serve on the Go team for a 2-year term. Nominations for the swing seat member may be made by any Go team member. If anyone else has a nomination for the swing seat, we can listen to that now. Okay. I would like to nominate Stephanie Schumacher for the swing seat. We have a lot on the horizon for our STEAM program at Mary Lynn, and as well as I feel like I can speak to all of the amazing STEAM things we have. having her as the content expert and building level, kind of lead on STEAM, I think would be very helpful. So, that is why I nominated Stephanie. We will now begin with voting. Before we vote, does anyone have any additional comments or consent? Just wondering, what is the swing seat mean? So the swing seat is basically, like the ninth person, I think, on the team. So they're a person who can either be nominated by and nominated by anyone really on the Go team, and that's, I think, what makes it different. As opposed to like the community member seat, which is appointed by the principal. So it's meant to be kind of like an open seat. I don't think it's ever really been used as that in the elementary school. These things become a lot more important at the middle and high school level, because that's when you have thousands of parents, right, coming together. So like, I think at Midtown High School, there were some recommendations from other Go team members to fill that swing seat. And if we get there like next year, you know, now that we're becoming more knowledgeable about all of the positions and what they hold, you know, people can definitely make nominations for swing seats. So it's kind of a point of information. All right, of course. All right, so we will now proceed to vote on the nominations for the swing seat. As I call the nominee name, please raise your hand or say aye to show support for that nominee. So first nominee is Stephanie Schumacher. If you vote for that nomination, please raise your hand and say aye. And who don't,
Aye.
say. Okay, thank you, all in favor. Thank you so much. And thank you, Alice and Stephanie, and as well as our new members, Johari and Alva. Thanks for joining us on Go Team. We will try to make it as painless as possible. Keep it positive here. So, okay, now we're gonna have to approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting, and I did some digging. Scott was our secretary last year, and I didn't remember this until I went back and looked at emails. He was absent for that last meeting. And so I don't know who we asked to take notes.
I was gonna say, you're usually the backup.
Let me look. So so we can keep it moving, and if you have the minutes and find them, I would love to send them out for everyone to take a look at for our next meeting, to look at in depth, but I have the agenda. I looked at the slideshow. We didn't really do a whole lot. It was mostly informational. I had like a principals report, where we reviewed map data, and then we did some like 25-26 school year preview items. So I have the agenda. So options include, we can go ahead and approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting. Understanding that we just have the agenda to look at, or we can table it, and if we can find the meetings, we can vote for them next go round. Does anyone have a motion to approve the minutes?
I would vote that we approve them and then we look, and if we find them, then we can have a motion to amend the previous minutes next time. But I think we can just take this off next meeting's agenda if people are okay with that. So I'll motion to approve.
Yeah, so motion to approve the minutes with the understanding that they will be sent via email once we locate them to board members. And then if Go Team members have any additions or changes that need to be made, we will make sure those happen by the next meeting, and we'll revisit it then. Like I said, I took a look at the presentation. There weren't really any action items. We weren't talking about the budget or anything. It was more just fixed information, map data, plans for the following year. Okay.
So do we need a second from the vote?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
No, you have.
Motion from Addison,
Second.
and then all in favor. Aye. Thank you. All opposed. Okay. Now. We get to fun stuff. So we're gonna elect Go Team officers and representatives. Let me go to the slide here. Sorry. This. Okay, here we go. Here's our officers. So before we begin the nominations, I'd like to remind the Go Team of the following. Nominations do not have to be seconded. A member may nominate themselves. A member may nominate more than one person. A member may decline a nomination during the process. Members may not serve more than 2 consecutive terms, so 2 years, in the same officer position at the school. More than 2 years, can't have more than 2 years. 2 years is fine. So nominees do not have to leave the room during the process. If there is more than one nominee elected, each nominee will be offered an opportunity to share why they want that seat. And newly elected officers will assume their position starting at the conclusion of this meeting and serve until June 30th, 2026. All voting members have one vote per seat. So first, we will elect the Go Team's chair. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the chair include, but are not limited to, leading Go Team meetings, working with the principal, the Go Team to develop meeting agendas, ensuring every Go Team member has an appropriate opportunity to be heard, and monitoring team compliance. I will now open the floor to receive chair nominations, and I would like to begin the nominations with Lynn Terra.
I would accept the nomination with the caveat that I'd like to continue also as the cluster representative, and you can do both. But we've been meeting throughout the summer, and so I'd like to continue on that role as well.
That's the best I can do.
And I will just say that like having Chris, like the chair position it's a lot of like, just like tasks, right?
Right.
And like, if you've been on Go Team before and you know what it looks like, it's pretty quick and easy to accomplish. If you haven't, it's really hard. And that comes from me having to like dive into this last year, like not having been on Go Team for a long time. So I think that if you can lead, that would be great. So I have that nomination. Any other nomination? Or questions? Okay, if there are no further nominations.
I have a question.
Yes, please. No, great.
If I nominate people and they don't want it, they can say.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
You can also self.
And you
No,
can
I'm not
self-nominate.
nominating some people, and I don't.
Yeah, so yeah, nominate.
Okay.
Be on the Go Team. I love that for you. Yes, let's do it. And they can politely decline and no harm, no foul. We are all supportive of each other's healthy boundaries, I think. So thank you. If there are no further nominations, I'll close the floor for the Go Team chair position. We will begin the confirmation process. We have one person being considered for the seat. The nomination is Lindley Terrace. At this time, oh, we already did that. We'll offer each nominee an opportunity to explain why they're the best candidate. I think that Lynn kind of shared that already. Please raise your hand to vote for your choice for the chair. All who vote for Lindley Terrace as the chair, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, the motion carries. Congratulations, Congratulations, Lindley Terrace. You will now serve as the Go Team chair for this year. All right, now we will elect the Go Team's vice chair. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the vice chair, which are also up there, are ensuring the Go Team follows parliamentary procedure, works with the principal and chair to develop meeting agendas, and will act as the chair if the chair is not present. I will now open the floor for vice chair nominations. And I want to nominate these two. I don't know what names.
These two right here.
I don't know their names.
That's okay.
And then Scott.
Peacock and Phoebe. Go like nominate them. Yeah.
Would any of the nominees like to decline the nomination?
I would like to.
I knew you were gonna do that.
I would say that I would be willing to do it if nobody wants to, but it is not important to me, because I did it last year and I know the parliamentary procedure stuff, but it is not important to me, and I'm totally supportive of just helping out anybody who wants to take it on, so.
Thank you, Addison, I appreciate that. So it sounds like Ms. Dees is welcoming the nomination, I appreciate that.
I accept.
Wow. You are so, see what you've done already, and it takes like 20 minutes, right? You've already made things happen. Yeah. All right, so if there are no further nominations, I will close the floor. We will begin the confirmation process. We have Addison, if Ms. Dees would like to do the seat, are you okay with not moving forward with the nomination, or do you want to still be considered?
I mean, if somebody nominates me, I'll like do it, but I don't, if Miss Dees wants to do it, like, I'm totally good with that. She'd be great. And I'm there to help with any parliamentary questions. Like, that's really the
That's
thing.
super helpful. That is super helpful. Thank you, Addison. And I think that Miss Dees also would maybe one day, has aspirations of leading things herself. So I think that's gonna be a good spot for her to be. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. So, yeah, see, you knew that. I didn't even know. All right, so at this time, I will offer Ms. Dees an opportunity to explain why she's a good candidate for this position. And other Go teams may ask questions if needed.
Okay, so I think I'll be a great candidate just because I like being able to make decisions for the good of the group, not be biased. I also enjoy serving underneath someone so that way I can learn and do more and just be an advocate and support for the team.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Dees. All right, so now we will vote for our choice of vice chair. All who vote for Kayla Dees, say aye or raise your hand. Aye.
Aye.
All right. Congratulations, Kayla Dees. So that's the Go Team Vice Chair for this school year. All right, now we will elect the Go Team Secretary. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the secretary include, but are not limited to, and there's a couple caveats specific to Mary Lynn here. So the secretary says it's supposed to post the Go Team documents to the website. Really that duty is sending them to me and I post them to website. So there's no webmaster duties included. If you just email the documents to me and I post them up there. The big task of the secretary is just taking the minutes during the Go Team meeting. And there is a template for the meeting minutes every meeting. So it's really just somebody who's okay to sit and type and listen while we're having the meeting. So I will now open the floor to receive secretary nomination. I'm happy to do that.
Then I nominate Alice Brickner.
Oh, right. Thank you. That's great, Alice, thank you. So, if there are no further nominations, I will close the floor. We have one person being considered. The nominee is Alice Bruckner. Would you like please to tell us, Alice, why you are the a good candidate for this position?
Well, I like writing and I did the secretary job on the PTA board.
Oh, perfect.
So I'm a little bit familiar with
Minutes.
taking action.
I appreciate that. That is great. All right, so now we'll vote for the secretary of our Go Team. All in favor of Alice becoming the Go Team secretary, please raise your hand. Say aye.
Aye.
Awesome. No abstentions, motion carries. Congratulations, Alice. You will serve as the Go Team secretary for this school year. Now we will elect the Go Team's cluster representative. Cluster reps may also hold an officer position, as Lindley stated. As a reminder, the responsibilities of this person include, but are not limited to, attending all cluster advisory team meetings and reporting back to the Go Team on the CAP meetings. And Lindley is also a member of the district's facilities master planning task force. And yeah, well, I was gonna say, and all of the folks, most of the people who serve on the F&P task force also are cluster reps, so it is good. I'm thankful that you want to continue in that role. So
I actually have a nomination.
great, yeah, great, Miss. Oh, yeah. Oh. Mhm.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't wanna.
Great. So the cluster advisory team meetings, there's 3 of them per year. They're in the evenings, and then you would have to go to the meetings and then report back to the.
And I will say this year, there may be more than 3 in the mix.
I think they're already.
I don't know if that's your kind. Yeah, only because there's a lot on my plate right now, I'm fine.
Okay.
Only because school and, yeah.
She's got a
Thank
lot.
you though. I got a lot. I like to have like, and you know, teacher, yeah.
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 Yeah, they just have, we rely on you a lot around here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she has a gifted endorsement she's doing. All right, so, so. So
Whatever that means.
I was at her then, the whole weekend here.
So Ms. Huff, would you like to respectfully decline the
Yeah.
nomination? We are appreciative. Okay. So if there are no further nominations, I will open the floor, so we can begin the confirmation process. We have one person being considered for the cluster rep seat. The nominations for this cluster rep is Lindley Terrace, do we need, I mean, Lily, can you tell us why you want to be on the cluster team?
Sure, I served as the CAT representative last year. I think it's good to have a parent voice to represent Maryland in the Midtown cluster. I'm happy to do it again.
And you have kids that go to.
And I have one kid at Howard and two at Midtown.
And that means Lily gets to stay around and we get to see her all the time. All right, so please raise your hand to vote for the choice of cluster representative, as Lily Terrace. You can raise your hand and say aye. Aye. That carries. Okay, so congratulations, Lily Terrace. You will serve as the go-to cluster representative this year.
House for you.
She didn't nominate her for.
Oh.
Hilarious. Okay. So now we have to review and approve the public comment protocol. Public comment opportunities are available for Go Teams to hear from interested members of the community. Considering the facilities master planning process that is being undertaken by APS. While we didn't have any public comment last year, it is possible that something might come up this year where public comment might be needed or wanted. So we have to decide on that protocol. The opportunities must be provided at least 4 times a year. We don't have to provide responses or engage in direct conversation. We have to determine a consistent method for receiving these comments. And we need to dedicate at least 20 minutes of time to public comment if there are any to be made. So I would propose that we continue our current public comment protocol, which is to utilize the last 20 minutes of the meeting for public comment if anyone joins for public comment. So what that looks like is at the beginning of the meeting, if there's anyone who is joined for public comment, we will let them know that public comment comes at the end of our agenda. Each person who joins for public comment will have up to 2 minutes. It's very much so like public comment at the board meeting. If you've ever seen public comment happen at the board meeting, it's supposed to happen just like that. Generally, we don't have as many people want to speak up at our meetings. So that is my recommendation. Do I have a motion? Is there a motion for discussion or is there a motion to adopt that public comment protocol?
I'll make a motion for discussion, because I have a question.
Great. This,
Okay, the question is there any room for it to be at the beginning? Because I just wonder if that might engage staff members. If there was something more, because I think that considering we're after school and we've all had long days, if it was first, that might engage at least our staff in a different way.
So I think in most of our cluster schools, at least at Howard and Midtown, they do 10 minutes at the beginning, 10 minutes at the end.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say.
That's what I was gonna suggest too, as long as they're like items on the agenda too, that first 10 minutes, like could inform how we discuss things before we vote on them, and then at the end, we can get comments on anything else that they want to add to the agenda or future agenda or anything else like that.
that's perfect. So we're gonna make a slight change to the public comment protocol. We're gonna have 10 minutes on the front end, 10 minutes on the back end. Once again, we don't hold space for public comment if no one's here to give any. So if there's no public comment, we'll just keep it moving. So knowing that, thank you for, does that help?
Yeah, I think so, because there was a lot of good discussion around, particularly when we were budgeting and staffing and stuff. And people are great, they come to us and they talk to us, but also they could come and speak to exactly what they want in person if they should choose that.
Great. So the proposal is for 10 minutes on the front end and 10 minutes on the back end with a 2-minute maximum speaking time per person. May I have a motion to adopt this public comment protocol?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
That's me, motion, yeah, no, sorry.
All in favor, say aye or raise your hand. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that motion carries. All right, so now we have to set our Go Team meeting calendar. I kind of got ahead of it this year and I have some proposed dates. These are the options we can go through. I made a few copies, once again, not for everybody. So there's a 6 meeting structure. And there's an 8 meeting structure, so make sure you look at the right one. There's 6 versus 8. You can look at mine for the 6, but I don't know mine. So I am proposing a 6 meeting year.
This is 6.
I'm proposing a 6 meeting. You can look at the 8, but
Oh,
Why would you want to come on?
Okay.
But we're, APS gives you the option.
I think API gives you the option. There's a whole.
I'm just curious.
There was, unless there was like something where I'll go
Yeah. So I am proposing the 6 meeting cadence. And I am proposing that we continue to have meetings at 2:45 on Wednesdays in the hybrid format. So, you know, if you're not here physically, you can still join, you know, quite easily. It won't be as much troubleshooting next time. And then I have some proposed dates ready. If I can kind of share those with you and we can just discuss. Thursday. Yes, please.
How the 2:45 time frame was. Was that just thinking about the next, is it for the teachers or is it just making it after school?
Yeah, I think
Because
that
it has to be after school.
it
correct?
cannot be during instructional hours.
No, because I was just thinking about why, like, 2:45 versus like, say, 6, or where more parents might be able to, but I understand that, like, it makes it easier for the teachers.
We started 2:45 last year. I don't know what it was previously.
It was,
because I
previous
wasn't-
year was like 7 to 8, like when the year before that. it was
Really,
like,
but I
I don't
think
know.
we have less weekend. We have
Yeah.
breaks, it's really late.
Yeah.
You still didn't have public.
I think if it's later, there's gonna be a lot more people joining by Zoom and especially from the staff side, which I don't think is necessarily to benefit. And you're like, I know the school lets out at 2:15, but you guys, for the teachers, they still end at 2:45 is like their work day end time.
That's correct.
So I think it's in favor for being in person, that's all, like, more people in person than,
Yeah.
but it's just a matter of.
Do we have a strong feeling about moving it from 2:45, or do we feel, is it 2:45, okay? Once again, if you need to join, you know, hybrid, no problem at all, and hopefully, you know, with only 6 meetings, we'll be able to make it work. So let me give you the proposed dates here. So first is Wednesday, September 17th. That would be our first, should have put this on the slide, but. Oh, these are the considerations. So I took these considerations into play. So if you're looking here, so Wednesday, September 17th is my proposed first day. Wednesday, the 22nd would be the second one. I know that's a 5th grade trip. The hard part there is you don't want to have it here because that's so close to the one we just had, and that's our Hispanic Heritage Month celebration day, so things are gonna be a little crazy. On this day, some folks are gonna be returning from their 5th grade trip, but then on this day, it's at the end of the month and it's near Halloween. So my real question is, who here is gonna be impacted by the 5th grade trip?
We actually, up and I will also be. The 29th is our day, we don't have it. The 29th
October?
and the 8th.
I didn't realize y'all had calendared those dates out already. See, I was looking at the first course. Okay, so let's, we probably do need to move it because so we have a gate endorsement that we have funded for a lot of our teachers to get, and it happens on Wednesdays after school. And we want to try and not have it when you guys have face to face. So you said,
The 29th, that's the date, that day for me.
or this day or the 8th?
Or the 8th. Or the 8th. What are we supposed to discuss about? I've got everything.
Sit, deep dive, needs assessment, goals, strategic plan.
So it's up to you. You'll be prepared on the 8th, that's the difference, if you want extra time.
What's the hiccup with Halloween? I know like there's stuff, but I mean, it's
Sorry.
Oh, wait, I hear you.
No.
So why do we care that it's?
No, I'm just trying to understand what's the mechanics of it.
It's busy, no, and we're just being funny, it's just a busy week because we have theme days every
Okay,
day,
okay.
we have the book here.
And it's only, really, it's only 3 weeks or 2 weeks from the last 15 meeting.
So this one, right here.
Right, that's the
1, 2, 3. I mean,
It's up to you.
Yeah. I'm fine with the 29th, we'll figure it out.
I'd be fine with the 29th. Are we wedded to just always being on Wednesday just to keep it simple? Because, or is that, am I complicating things by adding in extra options?
No, it's definitely for simplicity. We can't do Tuesdays. That's the days we have staff meetings, so.
I guess my question would be like, is the 23rd like an option that doesn't compress the schedule, or is that just more?
Like a one-off.
Yeah.
We can see it on Wednesday. If y'all, if everyone else is not gonna think that it's gonna break our hearts to do it on the 29th of October, we can do it. Alright, so we've got 9/17. We've got 10/29. And then my next, we have to have 3 for the semester. And so the next one has to be in November/December. And I said either, and now I'm looking at Steam Night is right here, so I don't think we wanna do the 19th. So then I guess, how do we feel about December 3rd?
December 10th. I'm looking, I have the calendar up, forget, I'm sorry.
No, please, no, that's why we're doing this, that's why we're doing
But
this.
no, but December 10th is, that day we don't have class.
I'm fine with that.
Is that the last day?
No.
Last, okay.
So yeah, we don't get out till the 19th.
No, we don't get out to the 22nd, but no,
19th, yeah.
yeah, that week, yeah.
Yeah, but this is not the last Wednesday, this is the last Wednesday. So, right here, 12/10. Okay, so we're up down 12/10. And then I don't have a calendar to show you, but my proposal for, now I remember we had to like push it back last year because I didn't get the budget and I had to have a meeting. So I propose for January 28th. But Kayla, tell me what it looks like for you.
What's the time?
Same.
2:45.
It'll be January 21st. That's our only,
We might have to do that on a Thursday.
yeah. Or we just, or that might just be one that we just,
That's
oh,
all
we
we
come a
can
little
say,
later.
we can just
We
come
can
later.
keep that.
It's gonna be a.
Is that the one?
That's
Oh,
the
the
first-
budget one.
Yeah, we'll talk about, I'm gonna have that in my.
That's the one that I, if it's a Wednesday after exam. Almost started.
On Wednesday.
In January to March, on Wednesday and Thursday, we're gonna have musical. Monday.
Or just, I can make Monday work.
So the 26th.
If we do, if you wanna do it for the rest of the semester, then it won't be any.
We can change it to Mondays for spring. I mean,
I think that's 3, it's just that,
Yeah.
January, February, March, that's literally, it's just.
Well, it's just great, I can't Mondays at all.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
My kids have swim and I got child's for me to go out, so I got to. Oh, let's say, yeah. That's okay, I got to swim.
You know what time Stephanie practice is? Probably gonna be like 2:30 to 4.
I just feel like in January, it'll be like the first weeks. If it's like later, like in February, March, somebody else can maybe do it, but I don't feel like I can miss the January.
You're gonna pull up your, the hub and pull up your calendar.
Hi, my loves.
I would like to do a Tuesday one where there's not a staff meeting.
When that's
We do
staff.
it Tuesday.
Well, we're gonna leave soon to take Oscar, like in 1 minute. So why don't you grab your shoes on, Oscar?
Let's.
Oops,
Let's go ahead and say it's that last Tuesday and then we just won't have a staff meeting that day. And nobody's gonna be sad about that. We're staff members.
That gives them the option to actually be the place.
I was just gonna say, that would be nice for them to be able to.
Oh,
yes,
so that's the way,
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can say,
We
hey,
can
we're
do
doing
it in
this.
the, we could probably
Good.
just do it in
Okay.
the library.
Yeah.
Tuesday, okay, so we're doing that on a Tuesday. January 27th, same time, 2:45, we will have no staff meetings. What does February look like for y'all's class, Kayla?
So I think February 25th was the next date that we had available. Yeah, we had February 25th.
Okay,
I don't think we're on, yeah, I wanna break this before that.
It's before that.
Yeah, so February 25th would be.
okay, so then can we do our February meeting, and now that's also gonna be a longer meeting, because that's budget feedback.
And that, okay, that's still a Wednesday, is that okay?
What's the Tuesday right before that?
The 24th.
Let's just do the
That's
24th.
the one, wait, is that the break? Yeah.
No,
No, the week
break
before
is
that
the
is the
week
break.
before.
Oh, okay.
So Tuesday the 24th.
Tuesday, so that'll be a Tuesday as well, Tuesday the 24th at 2:45. And like, if something comes up and Katie and Emily and Leanne absolutely have to run a staff meeting and we have to come in here. That's, you know what I mean, we'll
Yeah.
make that work. So we can figure that out, we'll come back. Okay, and we have one more meeting, and so it says March, but I was thinking it could be late March or early April, it really doesn't matter.
This is the one after you received your budget.
This is the budget finalization meeting. So the first one is the budget allocation. Okay, these are the 3 budget meetings right here. So this is the January meeting, is the allocation meetings. That's when I'll go over what I was allocated based on our enrollment. And the SSF. This is the draft feedback meeting. This is where I present the draft and we get feedback. And then after this meeting, I will go to my staffing conference and wrap a bow on it, and then the finalization meeting is after my staffing conference.
But doesn't that put us in a bind because this said it has to be before the February break and we are putting it on February 24th, we didn't after the break? The draft feedback meetings, it says before.
See, but it says that there, but it doesn't say it here. And last year we had to change it. We had to
Right,
push
you
it
had to push it
back.
back.
Because that's because
Actually
they.
said on one of the other meetings,
That's
that's too early, you need to push it back.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
There's a high chance.
And also, once again, you know, it stuff is very fluid, you know, at the end of the district. So if we end up needing to shift, we can always, you know, talk about that in a moment. Okay, so we said the
February
24th and then March. Should we do March 25th or April 1st?
We don't have class April 1st or the 1st. I think I like the first, I will put the play is over. The play will be over and when Blues will be done, that's like. That's
So Wednesday, April 1st.
Mhm.
That matter, that's us Passover.
I think that works. April 1st seems good.
It has to be the first full week. That's what I'm thinking.
Alright, so proposal is Wednesday 4/1, but we're checking on Passover. I mean, yes, it is April 1, but it's probably, so I won't be there, but I'll be listening. Well, why don't we have it the day before and do it Tuesday?
So you do it on Tuesday?
Yeah, the 31st, yeah. Okay, so then that just means that our first semester will be Wednesdays, second semester will be Tuesdays. That's March 31st, Tuesday, March 31st, yep. What's the March?
March.
March 31st.
30 days on.
Okay, that's right. So let us recap, before we finish up, because this is, we have just a couple more things like this. So recap is, first meeting is September 17th, Wednesday, September 17th. Next meeting is Wednesday, October 29th. Next meeting is Wednesday, December 10th. Then we've got second semester shifting to Tuesdays, Tuesday, January 27th. Tuesday, February 24th. And Tuesday, March 31st. I missed. No November? No, okay, I'm making sure. Yeah, okay. Making sure. No November.
Ms. Briggs, would you like me to go ahead and put those on the internal calendar?
Yes,
Great suggestion by Ms.
You like that? You like how we called it the internal calendar?
That's exactly.
Principal Bringsley,
No, I didn't come up with it.
That's not it. Oh, go ahead.
No, I didn't. It's,
Oh.
there was some,
hey, this is Chandra from the Go Team office. Just a quick question. As far as that last day in March, that might be a little too late because you all need to do your budget finalization meeting. So that's typically in early March, around like I think the 13th would be the cutoff that we'll probably have for the 2026.
Okay. Oh, I have that there. So what?
it would be 24.
The amount of the 17th or 18th.
But she thinks 13.
The 13th, they're Friday.
So 10th, March 10th would be,
Yeah, we need to do that, right?
About the 10th?
10th would be a Tuesday, right?
Would that give you enough time if our last meeting would have been February 24th? And
And that's
then
because I have no idea. We're working off of timelines that aren't even written on this paper, so I don't, you
I
know.
mean, we can schedule it for March 10th from now, and if the budget thing changes, we will adjust it.
All right, so
Because last year things got delayed for you, right? And then-
exactly, and that's what, and it's gonna be, the irony is gonna be that we're gonna set these early meetings and then it's gonna get delayed again, but we can cross that bridge when we get there. So we're saying March 10th.
Yeah, and typically, as far as the budget finalization meeting or that process in general, after budgets go to staffing conference, when the principals come back for the finalization meeting, things are pretty much locked and loaded with staffing. And so as far as that second week of March being the deadline for those meetings to occur, that rarely slips. In fact, I don't think it slipped at all in like the 10 years that we've been a charter system. So you should be fine with that date.
Thank you. Okay. So, okay, we've got the suggestions for the deep dates and times. We are going to allocate time for public comment at all business meetings, right? We're not gonna just choose ones. I just think we should allow it for any meeting. But okay.
Can I have a question?
Yes.
What does the format of public comment look like? People zoom in?
Yeah, zoom in, and, they have 2 minutes, basically set a timer. It's not really a engagement, it's just a voice heard.
No, kind of in person.
They could,
Oh,
they sure could, yeah, hybrid, they could come either.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. May I have a motion to approve the calendar? Motion. The second. All in favor, please say aye, raise your hand. Aye.
Aye.
All right, that motion carries. We will make sure you get those on your calendar. All right.
Oh, we're not. It's not like one of those weird new, asynchronous things. What the March 17th.
I know, I was looking at,
March
no,
7th,
I was looking at February.
February 24th.
So,
No, looking
Oh.
at 17th. Just wondering.
we're out.
Oh, you're up.
Yes.
Yeah, we're.
So I see the break.
Yeah, forgot if I added in this.
All right, so now we are coming over here to our meeting norms. These are the Go Team meeting norms. This is a meeting of the Go Team. Only members of the Go Team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are quietly observed. We commit being fully present. We will follow the agenda as noted to the public and stay on task. Be respectful of each other at all times. Be open-minded. We invite and welcome contributions of every member and listen to each other. We respect all ideas and assume good intentions, and we approach differences of opinion with curiosity. Does anyone have any changes to these norms? May I have a motion to adopt these norms for our Go Team? Motion.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
All opposed, none. Okay, that carries. We will now move to our discussion items. Woo. Okay, so I've got a couple things. So first off, we are supposed to engage in a stakeholder engagement exercise where we will discuss our vital role in decision making and talk about brainstorm ways to involve our school's key stakeholders. So the challenge is to look at 4 groups and ask and answer 3 questions about informing, getting input from, and inviting these stakeholders. So I went ahead and did use a little AI to generate some ideas, which, some were good and some I left off, but I kind of have some ideas here, thinking about how to inform, gather input, and invite. So these are just some ideas that I had pulled and things for us to think about. I love this idea for families having a video newsletter. I was also wondering how we can incorporate, we're doing a new student-led news this year. Dr. Johnson and Ms. Fuller are heading that up. So we're gonna kind of like move the ownership of the creation of the student news from like myself and Dr. Johnson to the kids actually being the reporter and recording the segments themselves. Right, and so I honestly wonder, I think that some of our sister schools actually share the morning announcements. No problem. We could actually just like share our morning announcements internally with parents somehow. I think that'd be sweet to get folks informed and just to see what the kiddos are doing. There was an idea shared about family focus group nights to share thoughts and ideas in a relaxed setting. Family volunteer days, which of course Stephanie just left, but we're gonna have a family volunteer day coming soon in mid-October for a Trees Atlanta planting. So they're gonna plant over 50 trees on our campus. And we're gonna have some community involvement on October 10th. So that's coming right before fall break. There was this idea for interactive bulletin boards for kids. And then I loved this idea, which is a community chalkboard, which is to install a large interactive chalkboard where, you know, there's like, it's like a bulletin board to engage folks. We also are gonna think about doing Rent the Rock, which is an idea that is also, of course, She Leaves when we have to talk about all the same stuff. Which is a fundraiser where you have a big boulder and families can pay to rent the rock and they paint it to celebrate a birthday or congratulations or, you know, whatever they want everyone to see. And that's a really cute engagement opportunity. But any ideas that you have or things that you've been thinking of in these avenues? Yeah.
I guess I have a question to start, because I wonder what, like, has there been consideration of the different? Let me back up. I feel like there are some, at least in the families some families have an outside voice compared to other families. So is the conversation about how to create an equitable voice around families or just, because I would say by and large, there's a segment of the Maryland population that is very, very involved. And so, like, how do we get those people who are much less involved in different strategies that they might not be checking email in the same way, you know? So, so I guess my question is like, should it be like a differentiated approach to consider like the realities of Maryland, not just kind of this blanket?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
That's a great question.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I would love to hear from like the teachers, where you guys hear a lot of feedback from parents. Like, is it from the, say, Rocket Blast, or is it from the flyers? Like, I remember when I was an elementary school teacher, it was like flyers were king because the parents would check the folder.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff like that, so.
That's still reality.
Yeah, it's like maybe it's like going back, because there's so much that comes through email that gets missed by families, because not everybody's like checking the email, so maybe like being more intentional about making sure Science Olympiad, reading all these things are getting hard copies, even though it might come out of the budget, but I feel like if Maryland, we can rent it off.
We also have had feedback from parents regarding sustainability and sending home so much paper that they have to throw away. Yeah, there's always another.
Yeah.
Right. I'm saying this, I mean,
Right, recycled paper.
I'm just, no, I agree. And absolutely on our engagement survey data, the parents who filled out the engagement survey, most of them, their favorite type of communication is something more. And as a parent, me too, because I sit on Twitter, right? But I mean, if you think about it, you know, we just have to figure out how to use that engagement opportunity in a sustainable way. Because like we have 25 staff-led after or before school opportunities, right? And it's not feasible for us to send home 25 flyers. That being said.
Would it,
One flyer with a QR code that links.
That's what I-
Right.
So like,
Beginning of the month.
it still goes back to electronic, but it's a paper prompt for it.
Yeah,
It's adding
sure,
another.
do that, yeah.
I think too, if there was like, oh, like 1 page, like calendar for the month that had everything on there, and then like a QR code to like an actual web page that like listed all of like the opportunities events like in order and then like where to like sign up for them. And also, I mean, we get so many announcements emailed out. Like I lose track of which ones I've seen and which ones I haven't. Like just having like a chronicle, like take a by date chronological. That's the word I was looking for. Like listing of these are the announcements that have gone out over the last month. Like so, there's just like one place you can go to see like what has been pushed out over the month. So you're not like searching for different
I was just
websites
about
and
to say.
different sublinks and.
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of events, what kind of information we're talking about, is it like PTO meeting, or is it, what's that stuff, like? It's all
Well,
the
and I was gonna say, I would think all of it because, and I don't know if you can tell me, like, I know that the rocket blast was a big thing and then it kind of trickled, like, we don't get it as often as it. But what if, well, yeah, yeah, I don't really get mine like as often as I did before. Like, it's showing to.
You're-
You get it so often. You have
But-
enough time.
Like,
Go
I-
to your APS email, it's gonna.
Yeah, okay, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, like, have we thought about like doing the hub like you do for us? Like we go, like the hub is like our thing now. We go to it and we know like if everything is there, we see our calendar, we see, is there something where we could create with that?
I mean, technically our website is supposed to serve that purpose,
Okay.
right?
And I don't know if you want multiple sites for parents. to go to it, but-
However, we have been at a standstill with our website for a long time because the company that APS uses, Blackboard, is moving away from their Blackboard software and transitioning to Final Site because they were bought. And so we've been on standstill and not been able to overhaul websites because we've been told really since this time last year that we were gonna be able to put new websites, right? So like I've been updating our website, right, as best I can, but there's a lot of growth that we can see on that website.
We used to
And
do a
so I
PTA
would
calendar,
wanna-
is there a PTO calendar, like Google Doc?
Yeah.
Is that on the website?
I
But-
Can't find
Oh,
it.
yeah. But I was gonna suggest the hub as well in the sense of like just looking at what you have. Some of the tabs are pretty much identical of things that like we need the weekly emails, they need the weekly emails, we need the scheduling calendar. They need the scheduling calendar. So if there is margin where someone is able to like mandate that, like you just upload.
Yeah.
All of the stuff, it could work. I think the part two to your question, if you're asking it, because I heard your thought. I think some of it too is just people being them being interested in those things where it's like, it's not that there's not a lot of things or a lot of communication, because we definitely communicate. It's just whether or not people have margin or if they're actually interested in that. Because there's what 535 kids here, and when you think about the run club and chess club, there's not, you have the same 20 or 30
lot of times
children,
it is the
that's
same,
not
yeah.
all of the things, so it's
Yeah.
just kind of comes
Yeah.
down to what they're interested in.
I think there's something to be said there too, though, is interested, yes, but also a lot of things are inevitably first come, first served. And maybe there needs to be information and a opening day for signups or, just because I do think that like is an equity piece. But also like, yes, I'm interested in everything and I got to do everything.
Right.
Because my parents happen to check their email isn't fair. And that, that may
Yeah.
be just one piece of the story, but
And I know for like Science Olympiad, I had a few parents come up to me and say, well, when was that sign up? And it was like at the end of the rocket class, and so I like that idea of like trying to keep the balance of making it manageable and sustainable, but also informative. Something like a once a month, so like it's not something that teachers or admin are having to manage every week or every time something comes up new, but like once a month, this is what we know for this month so far, we're giving it to you. And then that's it, so they only get what, 9 sheets.
And so when you're saying, what do you see as being, what information would you like to see on this monthly?
So I would imagine things that would be on the rocket blast, so like club sign up, I really like that
I'd
idea,
say,
like QRS.
August, September, and January would be your biggest month.
Yeah.
Really?
But as a counter, I would say, if you look at the rock stuff, there on the top, there's always that exact information in there.
But not everybody's using that rocket blast, that's my thing.
I mean, that's a different
Yeah.
issue for people to look at, like, sign up for it or not,
So if
but
someone's not looking at a rocket blast, how can we be confident that they're going to look at? And how they would have
I have a
knowledge
proposal,
base?
it won't work, but we're talking about sustainability and engaging parents. My kid comes home every year with an empty notebook. Make the kids write the thing in their notebook, show it to the parents. Yeah.
Like 3, 5, like kids who can't, that's true, right?
Yeah, but still. Yeah, what, you dictate the morning announcement and every kid like writes it down and you.
In cursive.
Yes. No, but that's like, the paper is, like, oh, sorry.
No, great.
The same, like, you won't use new paper, but they're getting the information and it's personalized because your kid is writing it, or stenciling it, or something, like some version of it, putting stickers on it. But I know like that's extra work on the teachers and that's not sustainable, right?
Is there a way that, or this may already exist,
I like the sentiment behind that, but that is a plan that is destined to fail very quickly, in my personal opinion.
I was saying, this may already exist and I just don't know, is there somewhere that there's like an archive of the rocket blast?
Yeah.
Could like that
Right, you know.
piece serve as a like secondary checkpoint, like the rocket blast goes out weekly.
Yes.
And then like once a month, there's a like, don't forget to check this.
Absolutely,
Coming in-
yeah.
Coming through a different means of communication.
I think
But I'm
that,
hearing that we need multiple means of communication.
I think that having the archived rocket blasts live on the new PTO's website is a good idea. Excuse me, we do have a lot of opportunity here because we did just create a PTO. So the PTO community engagement folks are working really hard to capture folks who, you know, don't have abundance amount of time. So they're looking at a have an hour, give an hour campaign. And so they're gonna roll out some engagement opportunities for parents to sign up for kind of long term. Like I think the idea is that they're gonna kind of calendar out and have a sign up genius for like multiple events that are coming down the pipe, like STEAM Night, International Night, Black History Month, Hispanic Heritage Month. So they're gonna kind of shoot that out to the larger parent body and ask like, you know, you might not be able to be a board member, but if you know that you're gonna have an hour on a Friday afternoon, you maybe can help with this. So I think that maybe when we need to make sure, from hearing what you all have said, is that when those engagements go out in the rocket blast, trying to make sure that we also have some type of communication in the Thursday folder, even if it's just a QR code, or like something that says like, this is the information in the rocket blast this week. If you want to know about clubs, all the club signups from the rocket blast, take a look. If you want to know about volunteer sign up, here's the sign up genius, like coupling in the rocket blast.
Oh,
And
and
so it's always-
I would say, oh, I'm sorry, Alice.
We always posted it to the website. This
Right.
week's rocket blast on the website. Is it still that way? Yeah. Okay, so that we would just, I did that for a year, so we just send it out and we put the link on the website every week. So if you don't get it, Mary Lynn, business rocket blast, date like that. Yeah, so I'm sure that's easy with the website being different now.
Well, so now the Maryland PTO has its own website. It's not within the Maryland website.
Okay.
So yes, I think that it's very possible for them to just, you know, MailChimp, whatever, because it's still the same program.
And I wanted to mention too, because I do know, I'm just thinking of old conversations where I know like, now we're trying to have less emails, so we're like, where room parents are sending the
I
email,
know.
PTO, and then it was just teachers. I know that they're checking our emails. If they don't check any other email, they're gonna check our email. And I wonder if there's something, whether it's in the Thursday email or something, it's just a blurb that always lives in that email that we send to say, hey,
Here's the
don't
the link
forget,
to our-
here's the
that's like-
link, don't forget to check, blah, 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 whatever link we end up using, whether it's the website or whether it's the rocket,
Like the
whatever it
rocket
is.
blast archive.
But that's
there.
automatically, automatically in there, and that blurb just lives there forever, so then that way, that kind of covers the basis of making sure parents are seeing it.
I like the ways that it gave insights and just having like to the point you made of technology and
Balance,
balance.
yeah.
It's not everybody, I mean, I personally hate it.
Yeah.
I can say on my computer, so, but yes, I
I agree.
think.
Yeah.
First stamp on the kid.
Stamps or like a sticker, right, the label, like we print like a note on label. Yeah. My teacher said, check your email.
It should be like how back in the nineties or the TV, you know, your children are, that last announcement, did you check the rocket? You used to come on at 11 o'clock. You know your children, did you check the rocket flag?
Well, I think that this has been a great discussion. Thank you for all the feedback and I think ongoing, right, ongoing discussion. And I know you all are already starting in this capacity, but ongoing discussions that will exist inside the PTO, right, all about all of these things. So I encourage you to get involved that way. As you all know, I am involved with the PTO. So this is actually the only thing that this is something that I have brought to the table that is actually not on the Go Team presentation. This is something that I wanted to bring to the Go Team's attention. This year, the APS testing calendar has removed the MAP growth spring administration. So for the past 4-ish years, I guess, ever since we started using MAP, we've had a fall, a winter, and a spring. That is what the NWEA suggests in order to get good data for kids and understand how they're growing and be able to target gaps. So the decision was made by the testing task force at APS, or assessment task force at APS, got together last year. I did not serve on that task force. I did not think anybody from Marion Learn served on that task force. I know there were some folks representing Middletown High School and Howard Middle School. But this was a decision made at the district level. So without MAP growth spring for K2, we won't have an endpoint for 25-26. So like we won't have an end in point, right? So after winter, you know, we can use all of our common assessments and the data that we collect anecdotally and obviously class grades and whatnot to track progress. But for K2, I see that as a barrier for us not having that data point at the end of the year. And these are also questions I'm asking the district. Without MAP growth spring for grade 5, I don't know how Howard's going to conduct their middle school course placements. Are they going to use the winter data? That doesn't really seem right to use winter data to place kids in classes almost a whole year later. And then without MAP growth spring for all the grade levels, that's one less opportunity for kids to become eligible for gifted. So the way that the gifted eligibility process is working moving forward, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow at the principal's coffee, is students complete the battery of assessments for gifted eligibility once every 4 semesters. So if you complete the battery of assessments for gifted, and the only thing that is holding you back is your MAP score because you don't have the 90th percentile, then you still have the opportunity over the next 3 semesters to get that MAP score and for it to bump you up and qualify you for GATE. So if we're missing one of those data points, that's a whole, and spring is probably the best chance for a kid to get above the 90th percentile because they've been growing all year. Fall and winter, not the times with kids. I mean, some are, some aren't, but like, so these are my questions. So I am proposing that we take MAP growth in the spring and reading and math based on grade level, right? So I'm gonna talk to the teachers and see, you know.
It's giving you the option.
So I have reached out and asked, I have been put on a list for schools that want to take it in the spring. I've received no information as to like whether that's a go or a no, or like any of that.
Now, was there information that the task force gave to like that you?
They said it
could see,
was
like
too many
their-
tests, and that was the one that they decided to get rid of.
But I mean, it is close to math.
It's close to
It's a lot of-
And that's why I'm talking about really for 3 through 5, I could let it go, right? And that's why I said my proposal is based on grade level, you know. 3 through 5, we could be fine. Right now, granted, MAP does not directly crosswalk to Georgia milestones, so it's not like we could compare their Georgia milestones data, you know, to what they did in the fall and the spring. But for K2, it's really important because in addition, we use that data from the spring to inform our decisions in the fall, right? Like class placement, student supports, in many cases gifted. So really, this is just a point of information and kind of letting you all know. And just, yeah, wanting to see what everyone thought.
I would be surprised if APS allows it at some schools and not. So I would start thinking about that for those evaluations.
Well, so that's what I was thinking is we do theoretically, as a charter system, have the autonomy here at this table to make that school-based decision, right? What would be
So
your
do it on
different
timeline
assessment?
if you're-
No, to do the
To
math.
do the
assessment.
math.
Yeah,
Even if APS says no.
correct. I don't think that they're gonna say no. A lot of people have raised, a lot of.
That's good.
schools have helped. And Mr. Ilzer, the director of testing and assessment, did tell me that he was getting a list together, that he would provide me with next steps. So I do feel like it's gonna be a go, but really kind of what I want feedback on is like, and I'll ask the teachers as well, obviously, but do we wanna do a K-5 administration? Do we wanna just do K-2? The good thing about making our own administration is we can do it whenever we want. Traditionally, the math assessment has been really not an end of year assessment. It has been another formative assessment that's done like 6 weeks before milestones, as if we could like close year gaps in 6 weeks. You can. So the test really needs to be given later, so it's a true, indicator of what was done all year. So I would recommend that we actually take it in like mid-May. So
And if that would be after your milestones.
Do better anyways, because sometimes you feel like after math and milestones, school starts, stop learning. So pushing testing to the end, so every day is not.
and I'm just saying math and reading, not science. Fifth graders have to take science. I don't think that's necessary because their science placement is technically based on their reading score, their lexile level in middle school. So just something to think about. We're not making a decision on this now. So something to think about.
Oh, so the fifth grade concern that's here, wouldn't that be mitigated because they're doing milestones anyways? Or is it like,
I think they use math testing, not milestones, to determine placement.
Because of the variability that map captures and like the detail that map goes into with reporting versus milestones, which is a little bit more high level.
And that goes with delay in the data.
Timing absolutely would make it hard to wait for milestone data.
The accelerated math have to get distinguished on miles.
Wait, so
Like, somebody told me like why the milestones are so important in fifth grade is because your score, whether it's distinguished or not, determines your placement within middle school accelerated math. Like it wasn't milestones data.
right, it's map data.
No, it wasn't map data. It was.
I think if you don't get in through math, you can use your mouth
Oh,
to store
okay,
it.
so it's like map is what?
It has been, but once
Because
again,
sometimes they don't get milestone data.
Back
for all of it.
the spring, I mean, Howard, this is a conversation we need to have, right? And then the gate concern is a conversation we're gonna have with gate. This is just really, I haven't even explored that. Yeah, I just was kind of putting it on the radar. I'm not gonna do it.
For a lot of parents, we were here being really attached to having another chance to get gifted placements.
I know.
I think people will appreciate that.
Well, and especially because of the way that they're now doing the gifted eligibility process, which is you take a battery of assessments during one semester and then you have to sit out for 3 consecutive semesters. And you can't take additional gate assessments, but if your MAP score is what was preventing you from getting in, you're automatically added into gate over any of those 3 semesters. And if we take one of these data points out, then that's basically, then why are we doing gate that way, And I'm quite certain they just didn't talk to each other in departments and things. So, okay. We will talk about it later. All right, information items, like I've been talking about, I have a principal's coffee tomorrow. We're talking about gifted eligibility in our school resource officer. Miss Martini will be joining us for a meet and greet and tell you a little bit about herself, and about her role as a school resource officer. Also, Corporal Barr, who is the school resource officer. I think she shared between Howard and Midtown. I'm sure you've seen her before. But she's over a lot of the officers in our cluster, and she'll meet over as well to talk and answer any questions that people have. Is that new this year? Yes, all APS schools received a school resource officer by the district. Was not flexible to spending for us. It was a requirement to have a school resource officer. So then also just wanted to make you aware of our next PTO meet. That's September 11th. Would love to see you there. And our personal electronic device policy, the Go Team office asked us to remind you all about this. Less of a thing here in elementary schools, but if you're not aware, the personal electric device policy in the larger state area was changed. And so APS is now enforcing the written policy that we previously had, which was that kids can't be on their phones during the instructional day ever at all. So we're just enforcing that. We already had kind of started enforcing that here at Maryland with the off and away for the day last year. We just have kiddos put their smartwatches or cell phones in their backpacks when they arrive. And then they put them right back on, power them up when the school day's over. Obviously, if kids are walking home, parents want to make sure they're safe and they can communicate. So we really haven't had any problems with that. The biggest issue that we've had is kids wearing their smartwatches and then communicating with their parent via their smartwatch and not telling any of the grownups in the building that they've been communicating with their parents. And then a mom or dad shows up and they're here to pick up Lindley because Lindley said that they have a fever and they threw up in the bathroom. And you're like, what? What? Because, and then we look crazy because we had no idea. So that's been, yeah, I know, the biggest issue that we've had is just, being left out of the loop. And that creates safety concerns, right? And unfortunately, that's the same idea when you're talking about an emergency situation, right? Is like, there's a lot of parents who feel like they want their kiddos to have their devices in the case of emergency so they can talk to them. But in reality, if there is an emergency situation, the best thing that any child can do is focus on the adult that's with them, right? And listen to the adult that's with them and be engaged in the moment. So it's just kind of figuring out the balance in this new age where everyone's got a phone or device. So
The other piece that happens, and I just want to acknowledge it, if a parent were to message their student to say, hey, you're gonna be a car rider instead of a bus rider, then that child's teacher is saying, nope, your parents were a bus rider in here. So we just need to make sure that communication is coming the right way. Like, it happens and it makes perfect sense that you're shooting that message, but also the adult. has to come forward.
yeah.
The opposite direction of that, I wanted to point out.
Okay. Comprehensive long-range facilities plan. This is what Lindley has been involved in, this task force. There were some rousing discussions, or not really discussions, because there wasn't really an opportunity for discussion, but there was,
There have been discussions since.
okay, great.
APS, I'm sure all of you have read the entire plan, has put forth a plan to address capacity at APS schools. There are several districts that have a couple under-enrolled schools, not clusters, not sure. That doesn't affect Midtown from the town cluster, but it could potentially impact Jackson, Douglas, and Washington clusters. So the task force is having community meetings in each of those areas. For North Atlanta and Midtown, they have proposed making additions. For Midtown specifically, they're proposing an addition for 300 students. This, allows for minimal disruption with students progressing with their peers and so forth, and not moving from a STEAM cluster to an IB cluster and so forth, not moving to one school and kicking kids out to another school. So the CPNO Education Committee is in support of that plan. I would not say this is a final facilities plan. I think they're presenting to the board in November, but I think they're receiving a lot of feedback from a lot of stakeholders. So it would not surprise me if all these things change. But I'm happy to answer any questions.
So is it more like on the elementary level where there's not a no?
What do you mean?
When you were saying like the student, is there not enough students in a school, or is it?
So in two of the elementary schools, for example, in Jackson cluster, they're both under enrolled.
Okay.
So those schools are losing their small school funding stipends next year because of state budget and stuff. And so to pay, you're paying principals to fees for students that are under 50%. Yeah, so that's.
Well, I just want to say something related because I've seen the proposals and there is nothing happening. And I'm just going to be very plain. There's
You're on
nothing,
YouTube, just a heads up.
okay, there's nothing happening within the Midtown cluster. But there's a lot happening in the Douglas and Washington cluster, and it's basically what I would say, like being local, like these kids, primarily Black kids, primarily lower SES kids, are being moved around like chess pieces. So I want us to consider, if things change, what are we willing to sacrifice to the benefit of children throughout Atlanta, not just like the, Midtown area, because it's really bad outside of Midtown, like entire communities are being like cut up and moved around, and stuff like that, so.
And I would say primarily Washington.
Yes, I was shocked when I saw it, so.
Because I think Jackson, North Atlanta, and Midtown, they offer both conditions, so. Because all three of those schools are at capacity.
Yeah. So like again, thinking that, we are bigger than just like the Midtown cluster, like we are all interconnected in this. What's happening there does affect us, even if it affects us in a direct way. So I've just been grappling with what I saw, and I've just been really shocked. Thank you for telling me on YouTube, so
But I do have a question.
Very nice.
And I know like a lot of those meetings are live and published and I actually didn't watch them, which is shocking to me. But is the city of Atlanta involved in this conversations at all?
No.
Has there been any conversation about why? Cause I just feel like a lot of the development impacts what they're.
There should be
Okay,
cross coordination.
that answers my question.
Because they have to decide what to do with some of the APS buildings and current APS properties that we hold. That they hold that aren't being used for anything.
Okay,
So
so it's a part of the conversation, but not currently on the table, is what I'm hearing you say. Okay.
One question,
oh, sorry.
what's 2040, what's the target for 2040, what the date?
It's a 5-year strategic plan.
Right.
Usually they do 5-year plans. There was
They're doing a 3 to 5 year plan and then,
2040.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know why. But
No, that's 5 years.
no, it's.
That's
2030.
I'm sorry.
Cause that's at the same.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Like, this is very far ahead, so I'm just.
It is, but the plan they propose is a 3 to 5 year plan.
Okay.
And, or to roll out over the next 3 to 5 years, because the company that APS has contracted with said, I don't believe numbers beyond out 5 years. I don't know if that's because they are a big business and they want to get rehired in 5 years. Or if it's because true, you can't really look at data for project enrollments and different populations. Right, without looking at the numbers again.
Sure.
Right.
And this probably equals out to be a generation, you think about it, like the kids that are in kindergarten right now.
Correct.
In 2040, they would have gone through, they would be in college technically.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're looking at it from the data
Right.
perspective.
Maybe even like higher
Yeah.
students.
That was working.
Yeah.
I didn't think about
In
it.
15 years, it'll be 100% new kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, by 2040, our fifth graders could have children. I know, that's
Bring it
terrifying.
back.
And you don't vote for them.
Bring it back.
That being said,
Yeah, bring it back.
CPNO is hosting a Meet the Candidate Forum for the at-large APS seats over Zoom on the evening, in end of September. So all three there's one seat that will affect our Maryland district, and that's the at-large seat.
Who's not?
Cynthia Briscoe Brown. But, after dozens and dozens of years of service. She is the longest standing APS board member. I think it. So her seat is open.
Okay,
There are 3
okay.
candidates. We met all 3 of them and they will be all joining us on a CPNO sponsored Zoom forum that
Love
we
that.
will post in the
I was
Rocket
gonna say,
Labs.
please let me know when that.
We'll invite anybody who lives in Lake Claire to join because that's your voting
course,
block
yeah.
too. And we will have a Google Doc that people can pre-submit questions that will hopefully go out.
And this is just the poster showing the upcoming meetings. So the next opportunities for the public are October 20th, excuse me, and November 10th. So October 20th is the next big meeting. I can't wait to see what will happen between now and then.
There's also community, this is a dated slide, so there are also community outreach meetings. Tomorrow is the 27th, is the one at Sutton.
Oh,
Middle
right here,
School.
right here, right here. This
Yeah.
flyer doesn't have the dates
So
and
the
times yet.
26th today is at. I think it's in the Douglas cluster. Tomorrow is the North Atlanta cluster, because they're looking at closing the sixth grade academy and consolidating to one middle school. And then. But that's tomorrow, yeah, North Atlanta, and they had one last night. And those are all in person at 6 p.m. The 26th and 28th, if anybody's looking to join.
And if you go to this website, where is it,
Perfect.
APS dot, like, Atlanta Public
So it
Schools / APS 2040,
Yeah, that's all.
all the info is on there. Go Team G3 Summit, Saturday, September 27th, at 8:30 to 2:30. We will discuss at our next meeting on September 17th, who might be going to this.
Have they,
Put it
I
in your
don't know
calendar.
if anybody's on Go Team Office, have they decided if it's online or in person?
Well, it says Atlanta.
I think last year it was all in person.
Well, they had to delay it last year.
There was a lightning storm.
Right.
But it was still in person.
Still in person. And I think you can go for some sessions. not
That's
others.
right, I remember that.
You can
There-
go for
there's,
an hour.
when we get more info on the sessions, if I get it before September 17th, we can send it out. And they usually do a pretty good job of sending it out to Go Team members as well. So you should get those emails once they've got the details worked out.
Yeah, and this is Chandra. I was going to say the plan is in person at Atlanta College and Career Academy. Last year, I think we had to postpone in the fall because of the hurricane, and then in the spring, which January, we were planning to be in person again, but then we had to switch to virtual because of, I think, snow. So if the weather cooperates, we'll be at ACCA in September.
Okay, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, well, if that's
Oh,
all,
the training.
yeah, don't forget to complete your training. I'm trying to think before I can go to that spreadsheet, if you need to know your status of training, does somebody?
The Go Team, Central Go Team Office will send you an email.
So in the bottom of the email will say if you're done or not.
Okay.
Okay. You will get a personalized.
You keep looking at me.
I just didn't know if you saw it.
It's like it's simple.
No, you get an email from the Go Team office.
Right, from the APS Go Team Office.
And then if you have to do the
You know,
training, then.
if you have done it,
Yeah.
it'll just say.
Okay.
And you click on the like ELIS thing.
So, Alice,
You'll
that,
get yours.
you'll get yours once.
Right.
We tell them.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, good work.
May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion.
A second.
A second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Karen, thank you for joining. Thank you, Chandra, for your help.
You're gonna give us.
No problem.
Thanks so much.